Hey EMbers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 37 of my Harvest Moon Back to Nature slow playthrough. So we're starting on day 26 of winter, year 1. And we're just checking the weather as always. It's going to be snowy tomorrow. And in this episode we are going to be doing the 26th, 27th, the 28th and the 29th, so 4 days. As always, there's a lot of speed ups in this episode. And here's our first one, getting the horse, or the pony, back into the barn. As of course it is snowing tomorrow. So that didn't take too long. But let's say hello to Binky, and we've brushed the air again. And thank you for bearing with me last episode, I really wasn't feeling my best. I'm still not 100%, but I'm much better, so hopefully this episode is a little bit more coherent. So we're going to say hello to the barn animals. Still 2 sheep and 1 cow. Hopefully we can get more as time goes on. And we'll see if we end up keeping the milk or shipping it. Nope, it looks like we're going to go ahead and ship it today. Well, we definitely need the money. So we've not got long left of winter now. In fact, next episode will be the end of winter and the start of spring year 2, which is quite exciting. Just doing a stats check. And with that, I've been blocked in by one of the sheep. So let's get out. We'll go gather the honey as always. Of course, we're not feeding the fish. And we are going to go for our second speed up here, obviously looking after the chickens. And I definitely think having this part sped up is a good idea. So you will notice that we are keeping the honey, we're not shipping the honey. And I wanted to show you what would happen if you tried to get another hen. And it basically just says the hen house is full. If you hatch another one, there'll be nowhere to feed it. So up into the mountain we go. And as I was saying, we have kept the honey, so it looks like it's a birthday today. Just saying hello to Potpourri as always. And we'll say hello to Anne as well. Let's go ahead and give an egg to the Harvest Goddess. We're not going to be able to give her an egg tomorrow. And let's find out what we're doing for the rest of our day. So we're heading back onto the farm for now. And we are going to go straight out to give the birthday girl their birthday present. So it is May's birthday today, who is the little girl on the Yodel farm. So we're just having a look for her outside, and as you can see she is in the little enclosure part, so we have to go into the house. And not that it makes much of a difference, but I think this is the first time we are going to be going into that little enclosure for this playthrough. Harris is very happy about his letters from Aya. We're going to say hello to the dog, of course. Hello, Hannah. And let's go and give May her honey for her birthday, see what she says. Oh, thank you. I got a present from Mom too, although I was kind of hoping she'd come visit me. That's so sad. Hi, are you going shopping today? I don't know, maybe. We don't really find out what's happened to May's parents. We just know that her grandfather's looking after her, but that's really, really sad. I know I had a theory in a previous episode that the mum and possibly the dad may have passed away and the grandfather didn't want to tell her, but that's clearly not the case if she's receiving birthday presents from her mum. Unless there's something more nefarious going on. Who knows? But we are heading back into the house. But I can't remember in any of the Animal Crossing, in any of the Harvest Moon games, if you actually find out who May's parents are. Anyway, we're just checking seeds now. So we have 6 cabbage seeds, 3 grass seeds and 6 toy flower seeds. So we definitely need some more flower seeds for an event in spring. So with that, we are heading back out. And what are we going to do? It looks like we're popping into the library. So while we've had less hectic days, we've been coming in to read, so let's go ahead and read some more books. There is a handmade book. It looks like a novel by Mary. Let's have a sneak peek. That's when Marlowe Christopher figured out the entire mystery. Seems to be a mystery novel. Inside the UFO, a weird creature was laying down on a horizontal platform. Maybe it's a science fiction story. Then the hero, Shinichi Izumi. It appears Marlowe Christopher wasn't the main character after all, so poor Mary doesn't know what she wants to write about there, it would seem. These are books that Basil wrote about the animals and insects of the mountain. These here are Creatures of the Mountain, volumes 1 through 3. Okay, let's give these a read. Creatures of the Mountain 1, Mountain Animals. Many animals live in the mountain near my village. Rabbits and squirrels and even foxes live there. People say that monkeys sometimes share the hot spring with the people of the village. And we've seen all 3, yes. Creatures of the Mountain 2, Mountain Insects. Many kinds of insects live in the mountain near my village. Cicadas, crickets, grasshoppers, ladybugs, bees, and even rare insects like the atlas beetle and the stag beetle can be found there. I don't know if we've seen those, the beetles. Creatures of the Mountain 3, Problems for the Villagers. Like I wrote before, many different animals live in the mountain near my village. There are animals like foxes, but nothing dangerous like bears or wild boar. However, wild dogs live on the mountain, and these sometimes come down and attack livestock, which is a problem for the farmers. That's not something that we're going to see in this playthrough, of course, but you can. These books were not written by Basil. It looks like they were written a long time ago. They're titled The 7 Brothers in the Forest, volumes 1 through 7. Here we go. The 7 Brothers That Live in the Forest, number 1. A long time ago, there were 7 little brothers who lived all apart from each other. The brothers were not very friendly with the villagers because they were small and the villagers seemed big and scary. Each brother had a different favourite colour and liked a different favourite thing, so they figured they would always live apart. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 2. One day, Chef, whose favourite colour is red and who likes to cook, realised he had a problem. I love to cook, but there's nobody to eat my delicious food. Hoggy, whose favourite colour is yellow and who loves to sleep, also had a problem. I love to sleep so much I don't want to get up and cook, but then I just get hungrier and hungrier. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 3. You can hear the sound, hoo-hoo, at night. Something sparks in the darkness. Ah, shiver, shiver, shiver. Timid likes the colour green because it's easy for him to hide in the forest. But even then, he's scared. You can hear the sound, hoo-hoo, at night. Something sparks in the darkness. Hi-ya, crumble, crumble, crumble. Bold loves purple because he can hide in the shadows and use his battle cry, hi-ya, to defeat large enemies. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 4. Stylish Aqua loves the colour light blue. Sigh, I'm running out of provisions fast. I like being stylish, but when I work, I don't have the time. Ugh, that's as much as I can do. Ah, Stade is very serious and a hard worker. He likes the colour blue and everything he wears is blue, so he's easy to spot. Stade, said Aqua, let's live together. It's got to be better than living alone. Aqua, said Stade, what brings you here, and with a story like that? Well, you see, said Aqua. Whisper, whisper, whisper. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 5. Ha ha ha, so that's it, said Stade. Sure, let's live together. But what's the point of everything being clean if you're still hungry? Even when your stomach is full, your heart remains hungry if things are not clean, replied Aqua. Okay, so you do the chores like the cleaning and laundry. So all I have to do is eat, asked Hoggy. Yes, all you have to do is eat. I enjoy watching you eat my food and being told it is delicious, replied Chef. I don't understand, but that's fine by me. Ha ha, what a mess you are, laughed Bold. Oh, it's you, Bold, squeaked Timid. Who did you think I was? I don't know, but I'm scared of everything in the forest. Well then, you should stay with me. I'm not afraid of anything. Okay, if that's what we do. If we're going to live together, we'll need a bigger house. Let's leave the forest for a bit. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 6. So Chef and Hoggy, Stade and Aqua, and Timid and Bold all decided to leave the forest for a while. The first one to find the house was Stade. Hey, I found a house that's just right for us. Yes, it's a lot smaller than a human house, but it's just the right size for us. But there's a light on inside. Let's go in. Hey, wait, Aqua, crash. Oh. And we're on to the final book. The 7 Brothers in the Forest, Part 7. Hello, brother. Long time no see. There in the house was the youngest brother, Nappy. Oh, it's you, Nappy. You surprised me. How did you get this house? The people of the village, but it is for me. Built it for me. What? I always thought there'd be a time where we would all live together, so I had them make 7 beds. What made you think that? Because look, all of you are here. What? When Stade and Aqua turned around, they saw the rest of their brothers walking toward the house. And they should be recognisable, because they are the forest sprites that you can talk to in this game. That was a lot of reading. But like I say, this is as close to a 100% playthrough as I can possibly get it, so I do want to explore every facet of the game. That includes reading the books, etc, etc. So what are we going to do for the remainder of the day? So yes, I hope that bit wasn't too boring for you. I was struggling to keep up with the blooming thing. So it looks like we're going mining, so there will be another speed up here. So let's go. But it's nice to have a little bit of a backstory for the harvest sprites anyway. It's confirmed that the villagers did build the house for them. So, bit of backstory. Why not? But of course we have sped up the mining here and we're going to spend quite a bit of time doing this. Which means our character is going to get very tired, I would assume. And we should have brought the basket with us, shouldn't we? But guess who forgot to bring the basket? Oh dear. In any event, we are heading back now. So back to the farm we go. Let's go ahead and ship these. That's a little bit too close to the edge. And with that, we are heading back out of the village. No, heading back into the village, out of the farm. So let's see where we end up. It's now halfway through the day. And it looks like we are headed to the inn. So we're going to go in and get some more flowers from one. But we are a little bit early, so he's not here yet. So let's head back outside. And there's going to be a tiny speed up here while I wait for one to arrive. And one must be able to, not time travel, sort of just appear out of nowhere, because we didn't see him go into the inn, but there he is. I suspect he is living here though. So let's go ahead and get some more seeds. And we are going to grab the toy flower seeds. And we already have 6, so we are going to go ahead and grab 6 more for 3,000 Gs. Very expensive. We shouldn't really be spending our money on it, but again, it is for an event in spring. So with that, let's head out again. And we'll see where we end up. So you can see the doctor there, because the clinic is of course closed on a Wednesday. But we don't stop and talk to him. It's nice to see the villagers sort of pottering about as well. I do like that. We've seen quite a few on the way home. But with that, it looks like we're heading into the house. It's 10 to 2. But we are going to put our seeds away. Yep, I nearly forgot. We're going to put the seeds away. And again, the flowers are very expensive, but it is for a good reason. And with that, it looks like we are going to have an early night and head to bed. So, here we go, the song hour. Love it. Another week has passed and it's time once again for the song hour. Today's guest is Love. Let's hear the song, Love Song. Oh, yes. Oh, are we not actually hearing the song? I'm not going to write you a love song. There we go, we can have that. Let's pretend that that's what they were listening to. Life on the farm, Farmer Fran. Yes, Jimmy. What were we talking about yesterday? I can't remember. Exchanging animals. Okay, I think we've heard all this before, like I say, with good old Farmer Fran. I do think that she's been a little bit naughty with her TV programme and just repeating the same things every year, which, to be fair, is most television, isn't it? So let's not be too harsh on Farmer Fran, eh? Anyway, with that, I think we are going to head straight to bed. So let's move on swiftly to day 27. Okay, here we are, day 27, our second day of this episode. So we'll check the weather for tomorrow, and it's snowing again tomorrow. So I decided to spend some time playing with the dog. As we saw in a previous episode with the dog race, I definitely need to be doing this more often. It's quite hard to spend the time to do these things when you're doing a playthrough though, because it's either very boring for you guys and there's not really a way to do much with Harvest Moon off camera. So let's go ahead and see Binky the horse. And unfortunately you're staying in here again, lad, I'm sorry. But you're not going to like me if you're out in the snow. And to the barn duties, of course. And both sheep have grown their wool. That's not the right way to say that, is it? The wool has grown on the sheep. No? Is it wool? Yeah, it's wool. Sheep wool, yeah. I don't know. I've gone mad. Anyway, we've got one bigger and one smaller, of course. They look much better with the wool on, but never mind. Let's go ahead and milk the cow, of course. Sorry if you can hear any background traffic noise. So we're going to go ahead and ship both wool and the milk as well, yeah. With that, let's head out. And of course, we're going to collect the honey and go and tend to the chickens. So there's going to be yet another speed up here, of course. And we did ship the honey this time around because it's not a birthday today. So with that, we don't need to keep an egg for the Harvest Goddess either. We're going to have another speed up here because I am, of course, going all the way up the mountain for this blooming event, this random event. Just stopped to talk to Gots on the way, and Grey is up here as well. And of course, the event didn't happen, so I waste a bit of time. I think I wait till 10 o'clock, maybe, to see if it will happen then. And it doesn't, because I've said in a previous episode, spoiler alert, it doesn't happen until late at night. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see that random event. And even though we're only on day 27, there are, of course, 30 days in winter. Spoiler alert, we do not see that random event this year, so hopefully we can get to that next year. Both in-game and literally, I guess. Oh my goodness, that's weird to think about. So I went to pick up my hammer, but unfortunately the blacksmith is closed today. We are heading into Basil just because I was still trying to get this event to happen and it's not happening. So I'm re-talking to Basil to see if he will tell me anything. And I think I go and talk to Ellen again as well. For no reason. Because it's not happening for me. But this is the one downside about a game as old as Back to Nature. There are many, many resources. There are many, many resources on this game. Resources? Resources. Why does that word sound so weird? Resources. Resources. I don't even know. But I don't know why that word sounds so strange to me. But there are many places you can look for information on this game. And yet, with how old it is, you would think there was more complete information out there, but there just isn't for some of the events and such, so you really have to just try your best and see what happens. You would think a more thorough, I don't know, thing would have been done with this game, but unfortunately it hasn't. Anyway, we're going to read some more books. So this is books written about the plants of the village. This one's about flowers. Flowers 1, Mountain Flowers. The mountain I always hike has many different kinds of flowers blooming, depending on the season. The most common flower in this village is the moondrop. In the spring, some places are completely covered in these yellow flowers. In the fall, a flower called the magic red blooms. The flowers are normally blue, but sometimes the blossoms are red. The villagers here use the flower for medicine. Why these plants sometimes bloom red flowers is a mystery. Flowers 2, the flower of happiness. In the winter, when the mountain is covered in snow, some people claim to have seen a white flower blooming. They're just trying to wind me up. The villagers call this the flower of happiness, saying those who view it are blessed with happiness. Other countries have similar stories, and because they are all snowy countries, it is thought to be the same flower. Well, we are trying, Basil. Books about fish. All about fish 2, fishing rods. For some reason, we read 2 before 1. The fishing rods used by professionals are different from normal rods and are very effective. However, you need special skills to use these fishing rods, so they are only sold to professionals. I don't know why 2 came up first. All about fish 1, cultivation. More and more people are using fish ponds to raise fish. If you raise them successfully, they will spawn and multiply. Okay, now we'll move on to, this is the corner for books written by Basil about Mother's Hill. Okay? Hiking the mountain, number 1. I go mountain hiking once a week with my family to look for plants. There is a hot spring in the mountain that the villagers are free to use. Last time I went there, I was surprised to find eggs in the hot spring, but a farmer and a little girl told me this was a good way to boil eggs. So let's see what's next. These are of course basically tutorials. This is the corner for books written by Basil about the caves somewhere in this village. Okay? The cave only accessible in winter too. There is a cave you can only access in the winter months. In the village where I live, the lake in the mountains freezes over during the winter. This creates a path leading to the cave on the other side. The blacksmith said he makes accessories from the metal ore found in this cave. He also said there is another type of ore and that you can make some interesting things with it. And again, for some reason, we have volume 1 after volume 2. In the village where I live, there are 2 caves. One is the cave near the spring that I wrote about in another book. The other is a cave you can only get to in the winter. I only know what I heard from the blacksmith, but it seems you can find metal ore in this cave too, so I assume it is somewhere in the mountains of the village. So let's move on to the final bookcase, which is, there is a book written by Basil about the cave near the spring. The cave near the spring 2, again number 2, I don't know why. There seems to be another cave in the village where I live, different from the cave I wrote about in my last book, but I will write about that another time. I touched on the subject of golden ore in my last book about the cave near the spring, but in this other cave there is an even rarer ore which they say can also be used to make tools. So now we're going to read volume 1, back to front, never mind. There is a cave in the village where I live, near the spring. It is said that you can find metal ores there to make tools with. Golden ore is the hardest to find. You need to dig deep. That's not true. Mistral ore is the hardest to find. But anyway, with that, we have read every single book in Mary's library. But golden ore is not the hardest to find. Mistral ore is. So, sorry Basil, but you might need to go mining a little bit more. So yes, we have officially finished with Mary's library now. We'll have to go and see what we end up doing in a moment. And like I say, sorry that those parts may be a little bit boring. Of course we're fast forwarding because we're trying to go and get the event again. Spoiler alert, it doesn't happen. Sorry if those bits are a little bit boring, but again, I do want to show you every facet of this game. So all the way back down we come. And yes, as I was trying to say earlier, there is a great Back to Nature resource that I link. Well, I don't know why that word sounds so foreign to me. That I link at the in the description box of all of these videos. I wonder if we're heading to bed now. It looks like we might be. And there is a like a Prima guide for this game as well. Very expensive to get. We've just got the wrestling tournament that's not wrestling. Noel mysteriously failed to appear, so Vanilla won. Oh, okay, fair enough. And we'll check in with good old Farmer Fram. So yeah, there is resources for this game, but they're just not as in-depth as you'd expect for a game that's this old, really. So let's see what Farmer Fran is trying to talk about. Or is talking about. I say trying to talk about. Exchanging animals again. something I've never done because I will not sell my animals and I will not exchange them. So, you know, I just said I'll show you everything in this game. Well, I won't show you that. I won't show you exchanging animals. I won't show you selling animals. And I certainly won't show you unaliving the animals either, because that ain't happening. So with that, we're going to head to bed. So you won't be seeing any of that naughty business on this playthrough either. So you're not going to see everything, because I ain't about to start whacking the animals. Anyway, we're moving on to day 28, our second to last day, because let's have a look at the weather. Unfortunately, tomorrow is a snowstorm, so we are going to lose a day. You'll see how that develops as we go on. I think you've seen a tropical storm in this playthrough, but you've not seen a snowstorm yet. So we're going to play with the dog for a second, if I can grab the ball. Now, for the snowstorms, if you were playing sort of on your own without anybody watching you, then you could save the game before you go to bed. Obviously, you'd have to do that. And you can reload if you wanted to, and that might stop the snowstorm. For me, I am not going to reload, so it's a good job we don't have the hothouse, because the snowstorms can destroy the hothouse, as can the tropical storms in summer, I believe. Just saying hello to the horse. Now, yeah, like I say, if you were playing this without anybody watching you, you could cheat a little bit and reload if you'd like to, because that might stop the snowstorm. But for me, we are going to ride it out, which means we are going to have to go and get the harvest sprites help, because I won't be able to feed the animals, take care of them while there's a snowstorm. So we are going to ask the harvest sprites to help us take care of the animals. But yes, if I was not playing this as a playthrough, I'd probably reload so I didn't have to deal with the snowstorm. But we are going to be honest, and we're going to do it. I feel like the snowstorm in winter is not that detrimental because you don't have any crops. Of course, if you have a hothouse, it is quite detrimental. But in summer, as we saw, it took some of the pineapples, if you remember, in our summer episodes. So that wasn't good. So we're going to grab our honey, and there's going to be another speed up, of course, while we look after the chickens. And again, we are going to have to utilise the harvest sprites' help, because while there's a storm, we can't go out, we can't leave our house, but the harvest sprites can. So they can still come and help you on your farm. Which I feel a bit mean for, really, bless them, in this snowstorm, but I have to have my animals looked after. So with that, we are done in the chicken coop. We don't need to save an egg, of course. And here's another speed up. Guess what I'm trying to do? Oh dear. Again, far too early. Nothing happens. So all the way back down we go. And we're just checking our stats. And back onto the farm. So what are we going to do for today? Of course, we do need to go and see the harvest sprites, but I don't know what else we're going to do for the remainder of the day. Oh yes, we do of course need to get our hammer. So our hammer has now been upgraded to silver, I believe. I think it was silver. Let's have a look. Yep, so it's 2 out of 4. And we decide to just check how much the cheesemaker costs. We will not be getting it. We only have 7,265 Gs. We need the adamantite ore and 20,000 Gs. Goodness me. It is worth it though. So with that, let's head out. And we can now break the big rocks on our farm, so I'm sure we will be doing that today. So I'm guessing we're just going to go straight to the harvest sprites. Yep, it looks like that's what we're doing. And again, there will probably be a speed up in there. There will definitely be a speed up in there because it takes so long to get all the harvest sprites help. So this will more than likely be sped up. So hopefully you're okay with that. It just takes absolutely ages to speak to them. But we are going to ask all of them to help us take care of the animals all day tomorrow. So we're only going to have their help for one day. And of course, in this episode, we did read their kind of mini story in the library. And with that, we have asked for all of their help, so we're just checking stats again. We definitely need some chicken feed, so hopefully we go and get that sorted out this episode as well. But with that, where are we headed? Hopefully to get some chicken feed. Yep, nope, we're going to the forest. So we're going to Gotz's house. And I think we're going to check how much the hothouse costs. Again, we can't afford that either, but we're just having a little check. So the hothouse is 30,000 Gs on 580 pieces of lumber. So I think we're just debating at this point whether it's best to save up for the hothouse or the cheese maker. And you'll have to see what we pick as we get on. Just a little chat to Louis there and Harris. Oh, and hopefully we are going back for the chicken feed. It looks like we are. Yep, indeed we are. Just saying hello to Popery while we're here. So we're going to get 99 units there. I think we had 30 something. And are we finished? Nope, it looks like we're going to get some more. Okay. Using all our money here, we are going to get another 99. So we shouldn't have to get any more chicken feed for a while. Nope, so with that, that should be it. And we now have 232 chicken feed, so that should last a fair while. But it would be 23 days, wouldn't it? Yeah, 23 days worth. So with that, we're doing another speed up because we are finally getting rid of these rocks on our farm, ready for spring. Which is wonderful stuff. I believe this was one of our winter goals. But I can't remember our winter goals. Don't tell anyone. With that, we have one more rock to do. And our farm is now officially cleared of rocks. Fantastic stuff. So we're going to head into the house. Checking stats again. And with that, let's pop the hammer away because we're not going to need it for a while. Debating getting the sickle out, but we don't need it just yet. With that, let's watch the television. So we have Mechabot Ultra. Still don't know what's going on. We're on episode 16, wow. I wonder how many episodes there are. I suppose we'll find out. And of course, we'll check in with good old Farmer Fran. Is she still talking about exchanging animals? Yep. I mean, if we could receive an animal, we might look at it. We might look at it, but we won't be getting rid of any of ours, I'll tell you that. Anyway, let's move on straight to day 29, and unfortunately, as you can see, we cannot do anything. So this is our last day of the episode. We can't even watch television. I do go to cook, so you'll see a bit of a skip here, but we don't actually end up cooking anything, so that's why I cut that out. So with that, there's nothing to do but go to bed. So thank you very much for watching. That's the end of this episode. I appreciate you all as always, and until next week, bye EMbers.